Now, Ukraine's growing ability to strike well inside Russia has been underscored with a series of major drone attacks overnight. 5 people were killed and many more injured in an attack on a warehouse south of Moscow. These pictures show another warehouse belonging to Russia's biggest online retailer, Wildberries, set alight in an attack. There was damage to a similar facility in the Tver region. All this comes as Moscow accused Kyiv of deliberately targeting civilians after a drone hit a beach on the Black Sea coast, killing 7 people yesterday. According to reports, the drone may have been targeting a nearby Russian naval base. So how are these drone attacks being seen in Russia, and what impact are they actually having? Here's our Russia editor, Steve Rosenberg.
Well, this is what we know so far. Russian officials say that overnight, drones attacked an industrial park south of Moscow. A warehouse caught fire. The local governor, the governor of Moscow region, says that 5 people were killed. No official confirmation about who runs that particular warehouse. But later came further reports of 2 other drone attacks in 2 other parts of the country, one near St Petersburg and the other in the Tver region, both targeting warehouses of Wildberries, the giant Russian online retailer. And this fits into a pattern because since last month, Ukrainian drones have attacked a string of Wildberries warehouses in an apparent attempt to disrupt the operations of a big Russian company that is used by so many people here. Tens of millions of Russians buy things via Wildberries. Hundreds of thousands of Russians sell things through Wildberries. I was speaking to someone earlier today whose company sells via this company. He says that their business has been hit by these drone attacks.
Steve Rosenberg in Moscow. With me here is Mikey Kay, military analyst for the Security Brief. And Mikey, the strategy from Ukraine has changed markedly recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's effectively called deep strike, Matthew. Let's rewind back to February 22 beyond that. The Biden administration, and I think we've got some footage here, had given Ukraine the HIMARS launcher. So the HIMARS launcher is effectively, you can see the ATACMS missile coming out of the HIMARS launcher. So the HIMARS bit is the launcher. That you can see there on screen, Matthew, is the ATACMS missile. That's got a range of about 300 kilometers and a warhead of about 160 kilograms. However, the whole problem with that was that Ukraine's or Zelensky's hands were tied because the Biden administration wasn't allowing them to use those deep strike inside Russian territory. So fast forward to where we are today, that's changed significantly. I think we've got a little look at some of the latest Russian technology. Yeah, this is the FP1 drone. FP stands for 5-point. It's got a range of 2,700 kilometers. Contrast that with the ATACMS at 300 kilometers, and it's just had a modification to take it out to 3,400 kilometers with a 60-kilogram warhead. This is what is doing all the devastation on Wildberries. And then I think there's another capability that 5-point have developed. This is called the FP5 Flamingo. This is a huge range of 3,000 kilometers and a warhead of 1,150 kilograms. Just contrast that to the Tomahawk land attack missile, the TLAM. It's double on both, double the range and double the payroll. Now, this is the Flamingo, the FP5 now, and you'll see it drop. And when it drops, it creates obviously a massive explosion. That's that 1,150 kilogram warhead. So these are the 2 key capabilities that are being used to great effect by Ukraine at the moment.
So that's what they are building and now using. Where have they been targeting, and how deep inside Russia have the targets or some of the targets been?
Yeah, incredibly deep. Let's start with Russian energy infrastructure. We've seen that's been occurring now for over 3 months, and it's been creating huge gas lines. It's been strangling Crimea, and it's been used to great effect. Obviously, also the Russian war machine. But then also in July, there's 2 other key bits which I think are really important. The first one is Ukraine now targeting shadow tankers, and I think we've got some thermal imagery here that we can look at. Over 120 targeted in the Sea of Azov, and over 70 targeted in the Black Sea since the beginning of July. Again, having a massive impact on Russia's energy. But the key one here, and what we've been hearing about over the last 18 days, is Wildberries, effectively the Russian equivalent of Amazon. And over the commander of Ukraine's unmanned aerial forces have basically said in the last 18 days, over 15 logistical warehouses have been struck. There's two key points here, Matthew, that are interesting. The first one is the size. So the biggest one that's been struck is over 250,000 square meters. That's effectively 6 times the size of Wembley Stadium. But if we can go back to the map, you'll just see, Matthew, how far inside Russian territory they're actually striking. I think if we can just go back to the map on it. If not, basically it's the Russian, there we go. You can see right out on the far right of the screen there, that's 1,000 miles from the Ukrainian border. This wasn't possible a year ago. And in 9 months, the Ukrainians, 5 Point especially, have developed these deep strike capabilities that I would say are certainly turning the tide of the territory that Russia has inside occupied Ukraine.
Yes, it has an impact on the battlefield, it has an impact on the economy, it has an impact on the psychology for Russians and, of course, Vladimir Putin. Mikey, thank you for taking us through all of that. Thank you.